A hot, dusty day in Corona, New Mexico, 75 years ago, a rancher named W. Brazel walked into the sheriff's office to report something extraordinary. This was no ordinary visit, nor was it an ordinary day. Brazel had stumbled upon something on his property, something that defied explanation, a flying disc, as he described it, discovered amidst the arid landscape about 100 miles northwest of Roswell Army Airfield. Speculations sparked like a wildfire in a parched forest. Whispers of an unearthly origin filled the air as the town's folks began to wonder, could this be an extraterrestrial craft? Could the vast star-studded skies above us be more than just celestial bodies and cosmic dust? The mystery wrapped itself around every conversation, a puzzle begging to be solved. The enigma didn't stay confined to the small town of Corona for long. The very next day, the public information officer at the Roswell base released a statement that would forever echo in the annals of history. The U.S. Army Air Forces, they claimed, had recovered a flying saucer at the ranch. The words were out there, reverberating in the collective consciousness of a world on the brink of a new era. The military brass attempted to retract the statement swiftly, but the genie was already out of the bottle. The legend of Roswell, now dubbed as the UFO capital of the world, was already soaring high, much like the countless bright objects that many Americans claimed to have spotted in the sky that summer. As the dust settled, the world held its breath, waiting for what was to come next. The flying disc had been found, the statement had been made, and now the public's curiosity was piqued. The stage was set for a story that would captivate the world for decades to come. With the Army Air Force's news release the following day, the world was set on fire with tales of a recovered flying saucer from Brazel's ranch. And thus, the first chapter of a saga that would forever change our perception of the universe was written. The Roswell incident was just beginning to unfold. Little did the military know their hasty retraction of the flying saucer statement would only fan the flames of the growing legend. As the words flying saucer echoed in the public's mind, the military's frantic backpedaling only added fuel to the fire. By the time the military proclaimed the debris to be from a crashed weather balloon, the Roswell incident had already taken root in the public consciousness. From that point forward, the small, unassuming town of Roswell, New Mexico, was transformed into the UFO capital of the world. It was a title that would stick, with Roswell becoming a beacon for UFO enthusiasts, conspiracy theorists, and curious tourists from around the globe. The town found itself on the world stage, the epicenter of an incident that would keep people speculating and theorizing for generations to come. But the impact of the Roswell incident didn't stop at sparking public curiosity and speculation. It also marked the beginning of the modern movement of UFO sightings, a phenomenon that has persisted to this day. The incident set the stage for countless claims of unidentified flying objects, sightings, and encounters. The Roswell incident gave birth to an era where the unexplained was no longer dismissed as mere folklore, but instead became a topic of serious discussion and investigation. And then there was the impact on popular culture. The Roswell incident didn't just inspire conversations, it inspired creativity. It gave birth to a new genre of alien science fiction, with the mysterious incident becoming a popular trope in films, television shows, books, and more. The incident's influence can be seen in iconic works, from the cult favorite The X-Files to blockbuster hits like Independence Day. The fascination with the possibility of extraterrestrial life, the unknown, the unexplained, was now a part of our collective imagination. In a world on the brink of the Cold War, amidst the fear and uncertainty, the Roswell incident offered a different kind of mystery, a different kind of intrigue. It was a mystery not of this world, but possibly from far beyond our own. The Roswell incident, a mystery that has intrigued and baffled many for decades, was born. The Roswell incident didn't occur in a vacuum. It was the child of a tense historical context. Let's step back a bit to understand the world during the late 1940s. The planet was still reeling from the devastation of World War II, which had ended less than 2 years earlier. The United States and the Soviet Union, erstwhile allies, now found themselves at odds, each vying for global dominance. The term Cold War had recently made its way into the public consciousness, courtesy of George Orwell and presidential advisor Bernard Baruch. This was a time of heightened fear and uncertainty, a time when the threat of another global conflict seemed all too real. In this climate of apprehension, the media began to report on flying saucers. This term, first appearing in print in June of 1947, was coined following sightings by a civilian pilot named Ken Arnold. He claimed to have spotted bright objects moving at supersonic speeds near Mount Rainier in Washington. Some officials suggested these could be rockets or jets being tested by the military. But the public, already on edge due to the Cold War tensions, reacted with hysteria. In the weeks that followed, more than 800 similar sightings were reported across the country. Many of these were dismissed by law enforcement and military officials as copycat events. But the seed of curiosity and perhaps a little paranoia had already been sown in the minds of the American public. The Roswell incident, then, was not an isolated event. It was the culmination of a society teetering on the edge of another war, gripped by fear and looking for answers in the unknown. The sightings of flying saucers provided an outlet for these anxieties, a phenomenon that could be observed, reported, and speculated upon. In the midst of Cold War anxieties and a frenzy of flying saucer sightings, the scene was set for the Roswell incident to capture the public's imagination. Meanwhile, in the heart of New Mexico, an unsuspecting rancher was about to be swept up in a storm of speculation and intrigue. His name was Brazel, a hard-working man who spent his days tending to his sheep and cattle, far removed from the noise and chatter of the world beyond his ranch. In this quiet isolation, he was oblivious to the frenzy of flying saucer hysteria that was gripping the nation. One Saturday evening on the 5th of July, Brazel ventured into the nearby town of Corona. Here he found himself plunged into a world of rumors and wild theories. The talk of the town was about strange objects spotted soaring across the sky. The term flying saucers was on everyone's lips, a phrase he'd never heard before. As he listened to the animated conversations around him, a thought began to form in his mind. Could there be a connection between these tales of flying saucers and the odd debris he'd discovered on his ranch? With this question nagging at him, Brazel made a decision. On Monday, he gathered up the strange material he'd found and made his way back into town. He approached the local officials, informing them of his peculiar find. This simple act was the spark that would ignite a firestorm of controversy. The sheriff, intrigued by Brazel's account, decided to visit the ranch himself. This visit led to the military's involvement, and the debris was quickly transported to Fort Worth Army Airfield in Texas. Yet before the military experts could conclude that the debris was from a crashed weather balloon, the news had already spread like wildfire. The base in New Mexico had released a statement claiming they'd found a flying saucer on Brazel's ranch. The genie was out of the bottle and there was no putting it back. Brazel's simple act of reporting his find had far-reaching consequences, igniting a controversy that would endure for decades. His tale is a testament to the power of a story and the human imagination's capacity to dream up possibilities beyond our understanding. The military's final verdict? A crashed weather balloon. But for many, this was far from the end of the story. A weather balloon. An answer as mundane as it was unsatisfying. Many people found it hard to swallow, especially given the initial news release about a flying saucer. The quick retraction only fueled the fire of speculation, and the legend of Roswell was born. In the years that followed, the Roswell incident became a cornerstone of ufology, the study of unidentified flying objects. The incident has been pored over, dissected, and debated by countless enthusiasts and skeptics, each bringing their unique perspective to the table. It's been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and television shows, and has been referenced in everything from blockbuster films to catchy pop songs. In popular culture, Roswell has become synonymous with extraterrestrial life. It's given us the trope of the alien crash landing, the government cover-up, and the determined truth seeker. It's influenced our collective imagination, shaping the way we view the universe and our place within it. But the legacy of Roswell extends beyond popular culture. It's also played a significant role in shaping our understanding and perception of UFOs and extraterrestrial life. It's helped to perpetuate a belief in the existence of otherworldly beings despite a lack of concrete evidence. It's inspired generations of amateur astronomers, scientists, and researchers to look up at the night sky with wonder and curiosity. The Roswell incident Whether you believe it to be a case of mistaken identity or a genuine encounter with the unknown, has undeniably had a profound impact on our society. It sparked endless debates, fueled our collective imagination, and opened our minds to the possibility of life beyond our planet. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing's for sure: the Roswell incident has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. As we continue to explore the universe, the question remains, are we alone? And the answer, as ever, is up in the air.